whenever you have some time, okay, spend some time on that problem solving. That's going to help you a lot, friends. Okay, because at least if you plan at least to spend an hour, that helps you definitely down the line. If you carry the same this thing for about next 6 months, you see a lot of difference in your thought process. Okay, anyhow, let me share my screen. I just did a little what is that? I worked on few things for you today so that it helps you when you are working in the project as well. Maybe these are all required definitely at application level. Okay, I'll just show you all that now so that it might be useful when you are working in your projects. So this is the program we were working as in the last class. Not exactly this. I just refined this. Now I'll just set back to the point where we stopped yesterday. Okay. So now what we do is, or else I'll just take a backup of this because just in case if we need a quick reference, it might be useful for us. And let me add that backup code here. And now yesterday we were at this point. We were trying to solve a small problem which we gathered from this here. What is that? This one. So what is that string problem? String problem is about checking, like, if you take one string and see if there is if it is alphanumeric, each character is alphanumeric or digit, or otherwise what else we have observed. Let me go to the problem itself directly. Okay. Join thing we had discussed, not this one. I think this one. This is the problem. So I have shared to you. Are you able to work on this? If do you get any chance to spend some time on this? I'm not asking that it's mandatory, but I asked you yesterday if possible, give a try. If anyone had worked, you should get some idea on that. Now, anyhow, I'm just pasting that problem here. This is the problem we are working. But even this is not the solution. Even when I tried yesterday, what is that? So I was at, I think my algorithm isn't perfectly correct or perfectly right. So I told you we need to do some refining on that code. We'll do that today. So where am I is my yesterday's code is this, I believe, where I stopped yesterday. Let me just, not this one. I'm doing something else. This should be refined code actually. There are some errors, not sure why we have errors. This one, because of this. Okay, fine. I'll do one thing now. I'm removing all this. I'll just get back to the state where we are yesterday. So what I did is yesterday for CH in that input or something, I tried to do validation like this. Okay. And I did a quick check, condition check. Let me just see in this thing chart I shared with you. It is available. I'll just copy and paste it here. Okay. So that we don't waste much time here. I think we have that here. Okay. Not this is. I think I have only copied and pasted. No problem. I can write it quickly. The Actually, the partially successful code I'll write now and refine from there so that you also understand how to change your code when you are not getting expected output. Because time to time, what is that? You have to test your code and make changes according to that and adjust to that code for your output. Okay. So what I do now, I have to just do a quick validation. I did this in the last session, some ch dot. So what is that I should do? Is alpha is one method I should apply, but is alpha. This is one thing, and just I printed directly true. Okay, I'll just quickly finish this and we'll continue from there so that we would have a good continuity. And we have very good scenarios today. I just gathered for you especially to share with you very beautiful scenarios. Definitely by the end of the session, you understand that today. So E is alpha, E is, what is it, friends? Digit, and then also we have applied multiple if yesterday, right? But today I'll show you how to do performance tuning, okay, and how to simplify code. All that we'll see step by step, and that definitely helps you. It gives you some insight, like how to work on this code process. Okay, it's all about practice, friends, because so when you keep spending time, thoughts automatically keep coming, friends. That is how programming is all about. It's all about how much time you spend on something. So this is the program. This you can remove it. We don't need this. And this is what you should do. And you should add one more print here, one more condition check. What is that? We can directly validate this because on the string itself, that input one dot, okay, is all num, because if that string is alphanumeric, this checks directly. Okay, so alphanumeric means easily by looking at the string, we can easily predict if it is alphanumeric or not. So apply this on the whole string itself, not on some specific character. Right. So now this is fine. And when I run this yesterday, you can see there, this gave me, just enter the input Q8. This is what we are passing. This we are testing it with this string in the yesterday's class. We continue with that. And today we'll try to have multiple test cases, not just one test case, but we'll continue with this. Okay. And just enter. You can see here we got 6 truths. And this is where we are yesterday. We are left here. I told that we should get as per this problem, right? We gathered it should have 5 truths exactly. And according to this, this problem also, you can see here, first line it should get true. Second line also true or false, of course. First line true or false based on that condition check. Second line even true or false. Third line true or false. Fourth line like that. Altogether, we should get 5 truths as per the problem statement. But I have 6 here. Means my algorithm is not properly coded. Okay, means is my algorithm is not working as expected. You got it right, friends. So I should fine tune this. So here, this is not the right way of working for this scenario. Right way of coding or writing code for this scenario. What is that I should do? For each time you should take this string, iterate it. If it has a alphanumeric, we just filtered, so we can apply directly on some string. This gives you a perfect output. From next thing onwards, what is that you should do? Take complete string as output and see if there is any alphabet in that character by iterating character by character. Right now you can see here. So here we have 2 alphabets, but we should get 1 true only. And similarly here also, take this string, iterate it, see if there is any digit. You might have multiple digits also, but if at least 1 digit occurs here, then it should return true. Even this also, if any at least 1 alphabet is there, then uppercase or lowercase, anything is fine, but it should return true. It checks for each character here. If it has any alphabetical character, means you should check for each character. Even for digit also, you should see if there is any digit in each character. And if any digit is there, just return true. If there are 3 digits, don't return 3 truths. 1 true is enough. We just need to see if any character is a digit, and if it is digit, just print true, enough. Similarly, we should do if any lowercase is there, if any uppercase is there, and finally, based on that, we should generate the output. That's how your algorithm should work. And here, the miss part is I did a kind of, what is this? This kind of code doesn't work here. What is that correction I should do? Same thing. Just make some few changes to this code. Refine this code to fit to this requirement. What is that I should do? I have to iterate this loop on each what is that I should do? I should iterate loop completely on this string for scenario 2. Same thing again for scenario 3. Same thing for scenario 4, scenario 5. So what is that I should do? Here, input we can read for one time. Now here, just take a flag variable. Okay, not to have a duplicate output. Flag is the best choice here. Set it to false. What is that you do? Set it to false. This is actually the standard practice we follow when you do development, when you are doing these kind of validations. A flag variable is always a better practice. Okay. Then after that, now what you have to do? Now you can remove all this first. Okay. First we'll go step by step. Now what is that? We validated for, what is that? For this case, first line. If it has any alphanumeric characters, this is clearly validated. So I'll just put here. If has, copy this. If string has, this is filtered. This is clearly implemented. Next scenario, what is that? We have to check for if string has any alphabetical characters. Yeah, definitely for the test case which we are using, it has 2 alphabets, but you should not print true for 2 times. One is enough. Okay. If string has any alphabetical characters, then you take the whole string as input and check each time, check on each character if it is alphabet or not. See, that's what this does, right? It iterates this string character by character and just applying if it is alpha or not. If it is alpha, don't print it. What is that you should? If you print, you get duplicate truths. And again, your when you submit that kind of result, your solution will be failed. The test case will be failed. So what is that you should? You should say flag equal to true. So even there, if there is a duplicate, still flag will be set to true only. Once you set flag to true for one time, again if for second time also, it will reassign the same true, so that as a whole we get only one true as output. That is enough. Maybe we may have multiple alphabets in this string, but still what is that? We are just checking if alphabet is there, then flag is set to true. Again, if alphabet is there, again flag is reset to true only. Again, if alphabet is there, still it is reset to true only. Altogether, this flag has initially if it is set to false. If any alphabet is there, then same flag is reset to true multiple times. And finally, flag is set to true for one time as a whole. So this will avoid duplicate outputs. Got it right? Finally, what is that you should do? Simply print that flag here. If you understand for one scenario, one use case, then same thing, just copy paste it, just change that scenario. Print flag. Now we are done with what is alpha. Now you can run this also, test this code now. What is that? QA2. First one is it's alphanumeric. We are checking, it returns true only. But second one also, we have alphabet in this, it should just give us only one true. See, finally for this program, we should get 2 truths. It's working perfect as expected. Next one. Again, copy this code. Now you don't need to work much here. Just now apply the same code for scenario 3. What is scenario 3? If string has any digits, just change this. Okay. Okay. Just update the comment and see here. Just change this method here. Is digit. Now this works pretty well, friends. Without any doubt, this just change this method and run this. This works as expected. Okay. Now run this again. So same again, reset flag here. Again, see here one more time. Once you print it, after that reset here. Once you are coming for another scenario, reset flag. Otherwise, again, you might get you don't get expected output. So reset flag to false. Again, do the same validation. If any digit is present, set it to flag, set flag to true. That will do the necessary necessary validation. Okay, next print that flag again. Now this time if you run this, give the output QA2, use the same test case what we are using every time. This time we got 3 true. See, we are getting perfect result this time. We are not getting any extra truths or we are not getting any less truths. Next scenario, if string is uppercase or lowercase, 2 more scenarios. So I hope by now you should feel it very simple. Once after we build the second use case, Building 3, 4, and 5 is so simple. Why? Just a matter of some small change here. But figuring out this is important. Here, step 2, at the second scenario, concentrating and understanding second scenario is very important. Once you figure this scenario 2, same thing for remaining scenarios. So again, if string has any lowercase, okay, letters or characters, whatever it is. So simply just change this method is lower and then just leave it like that. Okay, fine. Similarly, if it has any upper, now I think even you can tell me the solution. What is that? Just copy paste it, just change what if it has any, change your comment here, because that should be the standard process we operate when you are working in development. Here, just change it to is upper, right? So finally, same thing. Flag scenarios, everything is same. Now run this. This program should yield. Yield means it should get 5 truths. That's all. As per the input you are providing, test input, right? Test input is QA2. If it is QA2, exactly you should get 5 truths. Okay, let's run this now, right? And then give QA2. Okay, this is test case 1. Now I'm going for another sample test case. Right? You can see here, friends, this time, first, before I jump to another test case. See here, are we getting expected truths here? 5 truths. You can see here we are getting 5 truths. And this algorithm is working as expected. Perfectly working here. Now do one thing, take another test case. This time, what is that? The sample input 2, I'm changing here. I'm creating another test case. So here I'm taking everything as a digit. You can see here. Now, if I give everything as digit, how many truths should come as output? Can, if possible, please answer in the chat box. Else, it's a very simple scenario. Suppose I'm doing test case 2. I'm running test case 2 and giving all, what is that? I'm giving a numeric string. All are digits here. Then how many truths should be displayed as output? 1 true, 2 true, 3 truths, 4 truths, 5 truths. How many should be displayed? Any answer in the chat box? This time, my analysis is it should give us two. What is that? One is we are checking is alpha numeric. No, I think it should give you only one only, because even this is not alpha numeric, right? This is just numeric, no alphabets. So might be we should expect only one true. Sorry, just enter, friends. You can see here one true. Digit should be true here. Even first use case, it is giving true for first use case. What is that? It's alphanumeric instance. Even if it is a number, it is returning true. This should be fine. This is a perfect this thing. Okay, you got it right. True. And second case is false anyhow. Why? Because you can see here, all num should be fine because it returns true. Because when the string is digits are alpha, I mean alphabets are alphanumeric, it should be returning true for all those cases, I believe. Anyhow, we'll do test case 3 also. Then second one is false. Why it is false? It doesn't have alphabets. So for false, perfect. Third one has digits. It's checking only for digits. Digits are there. Fourth one, lowercase. Digits are not either uppercase or lowercase. So false, false. So we have 2 truths actually. Got it right? So 2 truths here. So this is the output. Again, we have 5 outputs. In that 5 outputs, 2 are true and remaining are false. And this is perfect algorithm, no doubt about that. Okay, if you have a doubt in this algorithm, copy this. Okay, you go to HackerRank. Okay, and you can resubmit the same scenario again because I did it some time back. If you have a doubt, okay, so I'll do one thing. Let me see where I solved it. So where I solved that. I mean, the process of solving all this one by one, okay, it takes a lot of time because apart from all the schedule we have, you can check here easily. Solved. When we click on solved, it gives us all that, okay, whatever we did it. So I'll just show you because I want you to understand things the right way. Which are solved here, arithmetic, Python, write a function. List comprehensions we have solved. Iterations. String validators. This should be the one, I believe. Let me see. Yeah, perfect. See, now let me submit my algorithm, my solution here. So just copy this or accept that what is this first line, because input is already here. You can see this is how it just gives you partial code. Rest of the algorithm you have to fill it. And handling HackerRank needs a thorough implementation of your logic. It will provide multiple test cases. Let me submit and show you, because I want you to know and understand when you build something, how it checks for multiple test cases also you understand. That is how you have to do testing. And here the test cases are already inbuilt. So those scenarios are applied to your algorithm. Okay, see here now for your code otherwise. Now, what you can do, we have to add a bit of indentation here. Even for this, you should provide indentation. So here you can push all this step by step. Okay. And now if you run this, you can see, because it didn't work for me in one or two, this thing, two submissions. I did couple of changes every time and refined it. Finally, it accepted that. So, and also I have, what is that? Every time I changed my thinking thought process to make sure that, what is that? I am creating a program which is accepted by this kind of sophisticated tools. Okay. So submit now, run code, don't submit directly. First run it so that you see here. So somewhere it gave me error. What is that? Input one is not defined. Where is, you should remove this. This is not actually, you should say s dot here. Otherwise, change this variable name here instead of s, because we don't need to modify everything. Don't save it. If you save, it won't. Anyhow, that is not needed for us. Now test this, run code. This time it should work actually. See, this is how it works. It's saying congratulations. It gave a sample input because we copied that, we gathered that scenario from here only. It gave this QA2, and you can see here my output is this. It is also checking, validating what should be the test case output. Right? You can see how many test cases it applied. One test case. Suppose you submit it. Now you see. See, it used how many test cases here? It used 5 test cases and test case 3 failed. Why test case 3 failed? Let me see there. Something is not working here. So some code error or something, you can click on lock here, or else because I have submitted already, it's solved in the solved list. Okay, I made sure that everything is properly corrected and submitted. So why test case 6 failed? I'm just showing you. So this is how you have to play with friends. Okay. All test cases through for me. Let me click on this test case. What is it? Something it's expecting. Wrong answer. Huh? What is wrong? Wrong for what? So maybe I missed some indentation or something. Code wise, I think it should be fine, friends. So this is input one. It worked when we see here. See, still there is indentation issue here. See, you got it right. This last one, it is not inside the condition check here. You see here inside this driver program. Driver means which starts with main. It's outside driver programs. That's why it failed. Now this time it will work. See, these small things also you should be very careful with this kind of sophisticated tools, because it is a well built organized. There is so much of thing happening behind this. There is a lot of test cases are inbuilt, right? When you just run this again. Okay, perfect. Output is fine. Now submit this. This time it will work, no doubt. See, again test case 3 is failing. Why test case 3 is failing? What is the test case? We should have to check that. Okay. because this is what I have submitted. Download and scan. Let's see if we can download. This is the C. This much big string they are giving actually. You can see here. This is alphanumeric string. This is the input actually. For this input, they are checking. Means is this failing or what? This one. Input one dot is alphanumeric. Should definitely when I say alphanumeric, it works actually. It doesn't need that much of. But anyhow, I can check it later, not immediately. I just want to show you how you can validate your all these test cases even with this one. This is something which already I submitted. Where is it? I moved away from somewhere. Okay, here. Then just a minute, friends. I think I have submitted solution here so that we understand what we are missing. Because I see that almost this is the submitted solution, and we are following the same flow. Maybe we should do diff check. What is that? If it is our development again, what we do, we take our actually submitted one, this previous one, and do a diff check and see where exactly we are missing. But anyhow, this is developed by me only. So what I do is I'll submit this solution. Okay. After submitting only, I copied and pasted in the notepad. Okay, doing all that whatever needed. Maybe the one which I submitted is almost same. I don't see any big difference. But what is the missing part? Let me just see one more time, friends, because I don't want to give up quickly. So that's my way of working actually. Okay, let me run this. Maybe this print is at the left side. Maybe that should be also reason because code wise perfectly same. Both are same. Okay, let's run this. Maybe again print is at the end. Okay, perfect. Now submit code. Again, this test case 3 is fine. No problem. I'll check it later. Or even not needed. We have already a proper solution here. Let me submit this and see. Because this worked last time when I submitted and you can see it's almost same. Can you see here, friends? It's everything almost same here. Now run code and then submit this code. When you say run code, if it is working here, congratulations. Mostly it will work. But even if you see congratulations here, don't feel happy because once you submit code, it gives you multiple test cases. And all the test cases should be, now you can see, right? All test cases are satisfied. Which way I do? Maybe there is a slight small change or something is missing from what I submitted. Now earlier code you can see here. This is working quite fine. Got it right, friends. So finally you can see it gave how many test cases? See these many test cases and see here the kind of inputs. First it gave 1, 2, 3. Second, what it checked? It gave this special string. Third, see, it gave this much of lengthy alphanumeric string. See, and fourth, see, understand how we do development, how testing happens. All this is important, friends. If you want to have a developer mindset, these things are important. See, all uppercase. And again, one more. See, unlock the code here. Now you can see what is that test case 5. It is giving as a one digit and then all lowercase letters and alphabet. Can see here. Okay. So this is how it is giving input and giving multiple test cases. Sometimes your code might satisfy one or two test cases and it might fail for some other test cases. So that's why this HackerRank guy, he tried to check on your code in multiple on all 360 degrees scenarios. So that if it is working for all these scenarios, this program works for any other this thing. Finally, this is a perfect this thing. So this guy accepted that solution. You got it right, friends. So why I took some time to spend here also, mean friends, because it also helps you to work with HackerRank if you are interested in improving your thought process or programming abilities. Got it right? Does this helps you? Mostly this is work fine, friends. Somewhere a small this thing is there. I'll check the same code, submit it later and see. Okay. I don't want to waste your time now. Is it working right? That's all, friends. This is the idea about this. Okay, fine. Now, after seeing this code, now I'm moving to the next level, friends. Okay. In development again. After seeing all this, okay. You can see here, there is a much of repetitive code. See, this is actually, I don't think this is much professional code here. See, if you are in development, again, you have to do a code review. When maybe some using some code review tools like you can Google it also, friends. Suppose if you have, when I use some word, you don't need to hear from my mouth itself, friends. You can also do a quick Google also. So that's I'm just only giving you how to think dynamically. That's all, friends. I'll tell you. No, it's not like there are actually something like tools like Sonar Cube, which does code reviews. Now this code, honestly, this gives you expected output. Even the submitted one also gives you also expected output. Okay, it works. Algorithm works perfectly fine for input and output, but this is not actually 100% best code. Okay, then what should I do? First, to do one thing. I am introducing one very beautiful scenario now. What is that? That is how to do performance check. Like you how to do a performance check. How to do that? So for that, take this time with this performance validation. See, how do you do performance validation? Use these time methods and then just see how you can perform what is that the execution time of your code. Just check the time complexity of two different codes so that you understand. First, now what you do is this is the one which I implemented now. Let's see the time complexity of this. How much time this is taking to execute. We will refine this. I'll also show you how to refine this. Make it much more best code. Okay. And then see again time complexity. Right. And so that gives you a clear difference between how you can do performance tuning or how you can improvise on your code or optimize on your code when you are working on some project or something. Okay. Here, just take this is a simple scenario. To do validation on your code checks, what is that? Put a timer here to add timer to your code execution code for your code execution. Right? What is that you should do? All that code which you execute, put inside these blocks. What is that time method? And here also time only. The first one represents what is that call time method at the start of the execution of the code. Call time method again at the end of execution of code. That gives you start time and that gives you end time. And here just differentiate those two. End time minus start time, sorry. End time minus start time gives you the execution time. Now when you are testing for this code. Now I'll refine and again test one more the refined code and see which is giving you the best performance. And based on that, you choose which one to be submitted to your repositories, like repository instance to GitHub or Bitbucket or something. You got it right. So what I should do now? I am using this one and start underscore time. I'm writing here for you so that you get that proper understanding. To get start time, what is that call time method here? Time dot inside that time module. This time is a module which is in Python, built-in module. You can directly call time here. I will also give some explanation about this date time, all that. Okay, how to play with date times, how to generate certain dates using this time module, all that. Okay, I'll talk about that not now, but little later. Now, after completing the whole execution, again put one more time here. This is end time. Okay, end underscore end time equal to time dot time. In between that, you place your code. It is a very simple thing. If you understand this, you can always check for performance. Okay, this is a very good practice if you want to improve on your thought process, right? So this gives you what is that execution time check, performance check. How much time your code is taking? Is it actually a proper implemented code? Okay, but if you ask me, this is not actually the perfect code. Why? Output wise, it's good. But if you look at it, same loops we are repeating again and again. And if you repeat like this, it clearly says there is a lot of redundancy in this code. And this is not actually 100% professional code. Yeah, you got solution somehow or the other, but this is not 100% professional. Then I'll go to the next level and show you how to refine this, how to make it much more simpler. Then you understand that is much more interesting. See, observe with curiosity and interest, then you don't feel bored. Now we applied this time check, start and end here, put that code in between those two. Finally, just do the difference of these two. What is that? Simply execution time, if you want to get it, right? Simply what you have to do, end time. First difference, what is that you should do? Do minus from end time, not from start time, because end time is always bigger than start time, so that we get a positive time. Okay. Finally, print this execution time. What is that you should do? Print. So the execution execcu execution time is, use this placeholder. In this placeholder, put colon and then dot 6f, means you are rounding that, because this is time, right? You get some number of fractional digits. So just to round up that fractional digits to 6 digits, I put dot 6f here. Okay. And then on that apply format. And then to this, you just pass this variable execution time. That should be fine for us. So once it passes this time, along with that, it round off that result to dot to fractional part. Okay. Six digits fraction. Now run this now. Finally, you run this. And then now it's waiting for your input. Say QA2. Enter here. The execution time is what? It is taking 4.94 seconds here. So some seconds are milliseconds, it should be. Got it right there. So that is the idea. It took 4.94,149 milliseconds something. Okay, this is fine. Now I'm going to the next level here. See here, I'm refining this. I don't want this much of repetitive code. So I want to make it much more simpler. So I'm refining. What is that I should do? Now I got an idea. Instead of this, if I add a method that makes my job much more easier, def, what is that? I'm creating a method here. What is that? So maybe we are validating string here. So give the name of the method as string underscore, okay, validator. This is the name of the method, colon. What is that you should do now? First, remove all this. See, when you are implementing a code, you got it right. So you just keep this time check aside, okay? So that next time we do it for the refined code. This is already there, I believe, right? Just a minute, friends. I'll do one thing. I'll just keep a copy of this in our notepad so that next time if needed, we can also use that. This is copy one. Now I am modifying this, okay? Same code I'm modifying so that we don't have any issue with refine. Otherwise, do one thing. Next, create one more method, new Python file, string validator, okay? Test validator demo, otherwise demo.py. Now use this, okay? Now here, what is that you should do? This time, you have to build a method to do this validation, all this validation. But here you can see you have these many lines of code, right? Now, if I refine it, you just find only hardly you have here in this program 40 lines of, remove this, okay? Exclude this. We have 39 lines. If the code which we are going to refine now just have max of some 10 to 15 lines of code. That's a 10 to 15 lines. See, where 39 or 40 lines of code and where 10 to 15 lines of code. That itself shows, right, the best code, how you are building a best code. You got it right, friends. So what is that you should do? Go to the validation diff string underscore validator. This should take two things. What is that? The string itself, you want to validate this one, this input. Okay. So for that, you put word as a parameter. Second one, Another one is you have to pass. Second, this is very interesting again. See, friends, this is very interesting, right? You have to pass method you are testing as a parameter. What is that? Method you are passing as a parameter. This method is all num or is digit or is lower, that you should pass as a parameter. So here, what is that you should do in the code? Just add check underscore type. Check type means if it is alpha or is digit is what is that, friends? Upper or lower or is all num, all that. Now if you understand this, this helps you to implement this scenario for any kind of this thing, any kind of method. Okay, now other things are same. Now you know we have word, you have type check. You should do one thing here, right? See, while passing input, just leave it like this. Just put pass here. When I say pass means if that method is not doing anything, in future you want to add something, you can just add pass and leave it. Pass is a built-in keyword. Okay, which just doesn't do anything. It acts as a filler. It acts as a filler. You got it right, friends. Right. So now, what is that you should do? Take input. Okay, and then assign it to some variable, something like uh, input one or something. Anything should be fine. This time you can see. Now I am not doing anything. Just directly calling this validator. To this validator, I pass two parameters. What is that? The input string and the method I want to test. Okay, see here. Directly do print here. Print of what is that? So I'm printing. I'm calling this method. This returns some result. Okay, so the string validator directly calling to print here. Why? If you are passing a method to a print means this method returns some result. It might be boolean, integer, float, or any object otherwise. So I'm directly passing print this validation method to print. And then to this one, to this method, I'm passing two parameters. One is the string, which is input one. And the second one is what, friends? Check type. Check type is first thing. Already the first check we can directly do. What is that? Print of input one dot is, what is that, friends? All num. This you can directly do. And next check, what is alpha? Is alpha, pass it that method as a string. Okay, is alpha. Now you are passing these two. What is this? This input and then your method you want to implement on that input. Okay, both are passed to string validator. Here to directly apply on this method on this one, you have to use something called, what is that? Something, what is that? That is actually, I'll show you here. There is something called get attribute. What is that we are using here? When you pass this string and this method as a string, then if you want to call that method on this string, right, or on a character combined, this is string, right? String again should get converted to a method. If string should get converted and applied on some input, then we have to use a built-in method called built-in method. Of course, that method is I'm writing here in comments. Get attribute. What is that? Get attribute. Right. This get attar. That's all. Not complete the get attribute. This method. What is that? It retrieves string, which is a method. It retrieves retrieves a string passed as method. Sorry, a method passed as string. Okay, passed as string and applies that method on input. On input. That input can be a character or that input can be a string. It can be anything. Now what is that I want? This has to be validated on each character in this string. So first apply iterator here for ch in what is that word colon. Now here you have to get the get attribute on ch and then you have to apply check type. Okay, so here method, just take one variable here, method equal to say get attribute of, you can see that is built in. To this pass ch comma and then to this what is that you should apply this check type. Now on this check type, this alpha method is applied. This get attribute does that. Convert this string which is method passed as a string to method call, and that method call is applied on this character, and that is assigned to method. Now what is that you should do? You have to do validation here. If you can say method, put parenthesis to this. Why? That it just combines this character dot that method, and if you just say parenthesis, that method call is called on this. You got it right. Now what is that you should do? You should directly print. You don't need flag. If you want, you can use flag also. Yeah, do one thing. Add a flag also, friends. Sorry. Use that flag case scenario here. So before continuing, first thing, make sure you set a flag here. Set it to false first. And here, if this method, what is that? It will already apply this on that character, that ch. If that ch is alpha, then what is that? It should return true. Right? If method means if true, this calls alpha is called on that character ch. And if character is alphabet, then this method returns true. Then what is that you should do? Set to flag to true. If this method is returning true and coming to this level means definitely this whatever validation you are doing, that is fulfilled or satisfied. Then you come here and set flag here to true. And one thing very important is after this get method, get attribute returns that concatenating this method on this character, we assign that to some variable here. On that variable, you should apply this parenthesis, a method call, so that you get the expected impact, or you get the expected this thing there. Okay, if you don't put parenthesis, I doubt that works. Calling method parenthesis is important. Okay, this adding parenthesis to this resultant variable, when you concatenate your result and a method call, your sorry input and method call is important, right? This is next one. You have to say return finally flag. If it is true, it returns true. If it is false, it returns whatever that is there in the flag, it returns. So finally, I think this should be perfectly fine. And I'm seeing some error here. Why error? We should not see error here. If method, let me just see, unindented does not match. Where is the indentation issue here? I don't see that, but no problem. Let's test it now. First, this anyhow gives one true for the input which are other will later on will change in our test inputs. Okay. So what is this fine now? True flag equal to true, right? This is perfect. Method and then indentation issue. Why indentation issue here? Let me just see. Array by okay. Okay, see here, this is the issue. You have to apply return for function. That's why you got error here. See, because of this issue, here it is throwing error. See that you have to be careful with indentation in Python. See, friends, this time it will work as expected. No issues now. We should get two truths for the input parameter we are passing. Right click, okay, and then run this now. Give QA2. Now you got two truths, right? See how many lines are there now? If you remove these spaces also, hardly your code is in 13 lines. If you remove one more space also, you have hardly your code is 12 lines. See, now do other validation. See how simple this is. How now input one is same, just change this to is digit again. Again, other two also copy and paste and just do this. And here just change this result to is upper, okay, and is lower. See how beautiful this is. See here, this is a code where you have so many lines of code, right? This is a program where you have these many lines to achieve same output, right? This much program we just simplified into how many lines? That almost 39 40 lines of code we simplified into 16 lines here. Suppose if I arrange this properly, what is that? If you remove all these comments, okay, then it is just matter of some 10 lines or just some 13, 14 lines. See, now validate this. We should get 5 truths for the test input we are taking now. Later on, we'll change the inputs. Okay. QA2. See, how many truths are there? Perfectly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 truths. You can check it. Maybe if you are doubtful, I mean, increasing my window. Okay. Expanding window here, you can see 5 truths perfect. Suppose rerun this again. See, output is same. But what happened? You look at this code. See all this code. You look at this code. By which one you seems to be best code here? Definitely, this is the best code because as with experience, you should know how to reduce number of lines in the code. Also, optimization is very important. You got it right, friends. For the same thing, you can use something called list comprehensions. If you use list comprehensions, this whole scenario you can implement it in some 3 or 4 lines of code. Again, see that's how we can play with Python, friends. But to do all this optimization, what is important? It's not intelligence here. It's understanding fundamentals clearly, and you should know which one you should apply in which place. For that, what is important, friends? Having a strong foundation is important, so that you choose what to be applied at what place, at which place otherwise, right? Next, change the test case now. Don't use that alphanumeric. Give only digit now. Then this time, how many truths? See here, we get 2 truths and 3 false. This is what we tested some time back. Give only alphabets again. Something like sorry friends, A, B, C, D, enter. See here, how much alphanumeric it returns true for any scenario. If there is alphabet or numeric, okay. See here. So we have last one is true because it is lower case, okay. Others are, and second one is also true because it is alpha, right? See, it's working as expected, friends. And see the optimization here. Got it, right? So this is how you can play with coding in Python. Got it? Useful use case. Now you do one more before we log off. Just be patient, friends. Take that validation, time validation. Copy this. Okay. Start and this thing. Put it at the beginning of this one. Okay. Put it at the, not there. I think, yeah, no problem. Put the whole code there. Whatever it might happen, let it happen. And then copy this last 2 lines or 3 lines. That should give us exact this thing. Put here. Okay. Now this should give you again a performance check now. Time taken to execute. Okay. Run this now. I think we are giving it perfectly, right? Yeah, perfect. No problem. Run this. Okay, give an input, something like QA2 only. Let's go with this. Okay, scenario. So how much time this is taking? This is taking execution time. What is that? 7 milliseconds. Okay, fine. I'll do one thing then. Maybe sometimes placing this is also important. Start and end scenarios. So we put that here. What is that? The start time put here. Again, code loading, all that it takes. End time you put here. Because in between this, you have again code checks. We'll do one thing. Let's test it now. So again, QA2. Okay, see, I think placing this is important. See, earlier in this program, what is the execution time? Run this. Maybe if you didn't see it last time, QA2 for the same input. It altogether took 2 milliseconds now. Earlier it took 4 point change something. Okay, again 4 point something it took last time. This time it is taking very less. It depends, I think. And now this how much it took. Let's run this again. Okay, QA2, enter. See, it got again 2.78. And this got how much? Is there the output of previous one? Let me run it again, rerun. So what is that output we got for this one now? Let's rerun. Note down the time, friends. Note down the time. QA2, enter. 2.69. See, it's dynamically changing based on CPU availability, I believe. Again, do the same for this. Right click 2.69. Remember, friends. For this, run this again. Otherwise, remember this 6 digits. Do one thing. Copy this. Okay. And put it in Notepad. This is for optimized code. Now we are checking for unoptimized code. Stop and rerun. Okay. QA2. Enter. This is actually much more less now. See. So this is taking. If you look at it, this is. See, performance wise, I think this is giving better performance. Let me test it again. QA2. Okay, 2.5 this time. Oh my God. It's changing time to time, yeah, friends. This one, QA2, this is taking 3 seconds. Somehow this is only taking more time, friends, than which one? Why? Because might be this should be the reason. We applied this get attribute, right? That should be. But it's all about in very milliseconds. Finally, this is winning. This unprofessional one is winning over professional one. You got it right. But in reality, if you go to development, you have to implement code in this way, friends, not like this. Because a lot of redundancy is there. That doesn't we don't have proper code hygiene here. If the exact word you should use here, code hygiene is not there. Here you have a code hygiene. Got it right? Of course, we can add comments, all that, additional decorations, but still just giving you a quick, good idea. Understood, friends? This is all about what is that this thing about how to play with code and how to develop scenarios, how to change your how to refine your code, how to do performance validation. See, there is sort of so many things inside this, friends. Understood? That is the idea, friends. Hope you like this session, right? Now